The holiday season is over now. The Christmas lights come down, the tree ornaments get boxed up, and we all get back into the daily grind. But what happens with some of those expensive gifts you may have been so fortunate to get? Jewelry, watches, and the like. What most people don't think about is getting those valuable items added to their insurance policy. And if they aren't proactive about it, you might pay a hefty price on the back end if something goes wrong or astray.
Anytime anybody gets a gift, I mean, especially the most important one is probably jewelry items. A lot of people get new rings or watches or, earrings or something around the holidays. There are limitations in the individual homeowner policies that the insurance companies offer where the item may not be covered, or it may only be covered up to a certain value.
They should consider sometimes scheduling those as part of their insurance program to make sure that they have adequate coverage for a Rolex watch or a piece of artwork or a very fine piece of jewelry.
And that's where it's better and more cost-effective to be proactive with your newly acquired possessions.
It's really important that anytime somebody's purchasing a nice gift that maybe we like to say over $1,000, give your insurance agent a call so that we can look at the individual policy that your homeowner is written with, and we can see what the special limitations are and what your deductible is, and see whether or not we need to add maybe a personal articles floater that's going to cover a high valued item that is not covered under the main homeowner policy.
And by scheduling an item, you provide coverage for the full value of the item rather than a reduced amount.
And of course, Catherine and DeForest have stories where not being proactive can cost you.
So recently, actually this was just this week, a gentleman, one of our policyholders, received a very nice watch for Christmas and called me right after the first of the year. He had misplaced it. He wanted to know what was covered under his homeowner policy. So his watch happened to be worth $10,000. His policy was a little bit unique where he had up to $2,500 for misplaced jewelry. Most of the carriers, insurance companies, do not even cover under the basic homeowner policy for any mysterious disappearance, misplacing it, or theft coverage. So his company did, but he only had $2,500 worth of coverage. It's a $10,000 watch, and his $1,000 deductible would apply. So it really only gave him $1,500 in coverage. Whereas if he had scheduled the watch or put what we call a blanket floater on his policy, he would be covered up to the full $10,000 value and no deductible would apply.
But this proactive approach is not just for homeowners, it's also for business policies as well.
The easy part is when they buy a new car, because they have to have an ID card to get the car off the lot, and so we know because the dealer calls us, the insured calls us, we help them out with that kind of a change. But if they're buying a piece of production equipment, we don't know. We have no idea unless they tell us. So it's having a lot of communication with your customers. It's trying to keep it top of mind for them that they need to let you know when things are going on, that we're a vital part of their team, just like their accountant and their attorney are, in order to totally protect their assets.
With the new tax laws, things may have changed a little bit as well for a corporation to look into and try and be more proactive with their insurance policy and purchases they've made.
If you're buying new equipment, it's going to affect the values at which your business insurance should be set, the limits of coverage that you have. So it's really incumbent that somebody that's doing that calls their broker as soon as they can to find out what that impact is going to be. Sometimes the insurance company can help out with the rate if it's newer equipment. There's just different things that could happen, but from a coverage standpoint, you want to make sure that this new equipment is covered and covered properly. And I or any other agent wouldn't know that without being informed by our customer of what their intent is relative to hitting on.
So the bottom line is to be proactive with your newly purchased items up front, because it could save you a lot of money in the long run.